Good evening, my dear friends. I welcome you all to the Hindu and the Businessline editorial analysis on August 17, 2022. The ecological damage to the country is not pardonable. We have the Chipko movement and several rounds of ecological movements which try to bring the concern of ecology to the table. However, the sustainable development of the nation is never given heed to. It is very shocking to know that millions, that is 600 million Indians are under water stress. What do you mean by water stress? The contamination of water. The 600 million people are getting only the contaminated water. This is a very dangerous issue. And the urban population is getting only the insecticide and the pesticide infected food. The fertilizer which is entering into the food stream is very much dangerous. We have the highways projects and the cutting of trees. The highways projects are given 40 times more thrust than the ecological conservation. The budget for the highways projects are around 40 times more than the budget for the Ministry for Environment and Forests, which is a very harking feature. The sustainable development means caring for the environment while giving impetus for the developmental initiatives. What is happening now is that we are stepping back on our efforts to nurture the nature and the ecology. We are talking of the Amrit Kal, that is for the next 25 years. The Amrit Kal is going to be the vision of India. How far we have been ecologically satisfying our developmental needs has to be seen. The cotton growers in Gujarat are very happy to have the Kala organic cotton. Similarly, the organic products coming out of the agriculture can be given impetus. When we are going to vision about the Amrit Kal in future, for the next 25 years, our ambition should be to protect the ecology, because if we construct more and more highways, the connectivity is very good, but it's a very sweet dream. But if the connectivity established at the cost of the ecology and the forest and the natural the natural carbon dioxide absorbers, that is trees, how far we can be very happy is a question mark. Then the next article to be discussed is high points in science, technology and innovation. When India is reaching 75 years of its independence, we look back when the scientific temper and the scientific development of India was envisaged with the establishment of Council for Science and Industrial Research in 1942. The CSIR had several projects in hand. Initially, it was the harmonization of the calendar. There were varied, that is, different types of calendars for which the harmonization was necessary. This was done as the first project of the CSIR. Then, the CSIR have made many contributions in the field of elections, that is, voting. In the elections, it had to be prevented that one person does not vote again and again. The indelible ink, which is the contribution of CSIR, was the second successful project. When we go for voting in the elections, we get the indelible ink, which is the second major contribution of CSIR. Then CSIR gave an upgrade to the leather industry, the indigenous leather industry. The Central Leather Research Institute was formed, and the domestic leather industry employed, when it was the first initial years when of independent India, if it was 30,000 people who were employed, now the leather industry employs more than 4 million people. And then the next contribution is with regard to the agriculture, the fertilizers, and the scientific mechanized agriculture activities was the next objective of the CSIR. Therefore, Hindustan Insecticides Limited was formed to manufacture pesticides. Bengal Chemicals was already there before independence. So together with Hindustan Insecticides Limited and Hindustan Organic Chemicals Limited, it was formed post independence, and Bengal Chemicals was there before independence. So all these institutes work together to see that the crops are well protected. And then came the Punjab Tractors Limited, which was another initiative of CSIR in the agricultural field. We had manufactured tractors for the agricultural activities. The contribution of CSIR in all these fields can never be forgotten, and it's going on inventing newer systems of facilities for the industrial and the agricultural needs. From the business line, we are thinking about the derivatives, that is, the derivatives in the wheats industry. The wheats products are never hedged. So, hedging of the wheat is the issue now. India had banned the commodities market in wheats for a long. However, this is preventing the hedging of the wheats market. The farmers are not getting their dues only because a hedging is impossible. Hedging means the fixing of the remunerative price for the farmers beforehand, that is 3 months in before harvesting or 6 months before harvesting, the rate is fixed. And when the actual harvesting happens, the farmer gets the prefixed rate. The country doesn't have any hedging in wheat market now. So the article is going on expounding that the hedging of the wheat market will go a long way in remunerating the farmers. Then another article is about bringing America to the climate table. What does it mean? Friends, I hope you know about the Paris climate. Paris Climate Convention had pledged to reduce the climatic emissions, that is industrial emissions, by 2030 and the net zero emissions by 2070. However, when Trump administration took the power, it had gone back from its Paris Climate Convention, and now the Joe Biden administration is again thinking of clinging to the Paris Climate Convention. This sustainable move of the American administration is very much healthy move, because Now, the world over, the conference of parties held several times in a year are always thinking about how to mitigate the environmental emissions. And the development nations at their end are never trying to reduce the emissions and just dumping the climatic conventions as America had done about the Paris Climate Convention, citing several reasons. That is, development was their priority. Development is the priority, it is understood, but how about the climate? We need to maintain the climate to stick to the temperature target of 1.5 degrees centigrade in the next 100 years. If the temperature rises above 2 degrees centigrade, the glaciers will melt and there will be considerable change in the climate. Friends, I have come to the conclusion of today's analysis of the Hindu and the Businessline editorial. Meet you tomorrow with some more topics like this. Till then, bye. See you.